Yeah. Turn up the sound, let's make it loud. I hate the pile, making you proud. Feel the beat, let your feet move free. Sports and groove, it's all you'll ever need. From the pitch to the court, we got your back. In the game or the field, we're on attack. Feel the pulse, every second counts. We rise above while the crowd shouts. Hate to Pylon, dance in the zone, 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 zone. Feel the rhythm right through your bones, 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 bones. Hate to Pylon, rocking the show, 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 show. Never stop, let the good vibes flow. Hear the whistle blow, it's time to score. Join the frenzy, let's roar for more. Hit the play, feel the energy rise. In the moment, we're reaching new heights. Studio lights, they shine so bright. On this podcast, we're rocking the night. Tune in live, feel the magic here. In every beat, we'll conquer the fear. Hate to Pylon, dance in the zone, 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 zone. Feel the rhythm right through your bones, 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 bones. Hate to Pylon, rocking the show, 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 show. Never stop, let the good vibes flow. Hate to Pylon, dance in the zone, zone, zone. Feel the whistle blow, it's time to score. Join the frenzy, let's roar for more. Hit the play, feel the energy rise. In the moment, we're reaching new heights. Studio lights, they shine so bright. On this podcast, we're rocking the night. Tune in live, feel the magic here. In every beat, we'll conquer the fear. Hate to Pylon, dance in the zone, 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 zone. Feel the rhythm right through your bones, 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 bones. Hate to Pylon, rocking the show, 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 show. Never stop, let the good vibes flow. Hate to Pylon, dance in the zone, zone, zone. Feel the rhythm right through your bones, bones, bones. Hate to Pylon, yeah. Hate to Pylon, let the good vibes flow. Let the good vibes flow. Chucky boys coming live on the mic, breaking the silence like a thief in the night. Electric waves and heavy drums ignite. Trapped in tight when they can't fight. Open your mind, let the words collide. Surfing the airwaves, no place to hide. We got the stories, the truth worldwide. Buckle up now, it's a wild ride. Open your mind, let the words collide. Surfing the airwaves, no place to hide. We got the stories, the truth worldwide. Buckle up now, it's a wild ride. Chucky boys, we're here to rock. Turn the volume up, we got the top. From dawn till dusk, we never stop. Tune in now, it's the top of the top. Laughs and tales fill up every show. You find out things you didn't know. Winning charm in every flow. Chucky boys, let's steal the show. Breaking down walls with every line. Conversations raw, unrefined. Rough and ready, it's podcast time. Chucky boys on the front line. Chucky boys, we're here to rock. Turn the volume up, we got the talk. From dawn till dusk, we never stop. Tune in now, it's the top of the top. Laughs and tales fill up every show. You'll find out things you didn't know. Winning charm in every flow. Chucky boys, let's steal the show.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Up every show, you'll find out things you didn't know. Winning charm in every flow. Chucky boys, let's steal the show.
up, beautiful people? My name is CJ, and I'm alongside Jonathan, and we are buzzing around the pylon today. And we're going to have a good show because we're going to talk about some Hornets backlash. Ooh, maybe, takesy backsies. I don't know. Maybe Hornets don't believe in that. The return of the full squad, and some news around the NBA. And a new NBA Cup champion has been crowned. But before we get all into that and buzzing around, Jonathan, how are you doing today?
Exceptionally well, CJ. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. I am fantastic. I'm super excited. I'm not excited as the kid was for the Hornets game who did a in-game promotion and got denied a PS5. So if you didn't know, I'm gonna go ahead and explain it to you what happened. So unfortunately this is the one thing the Hornets has done that's created a buzz, has created a spark that people are paying attention to, and unfortunately, it's not the best thing for you want people to notice your organization for, especially with new ownership. So that's what kind of is the tough part. Um, so the official statement that happened was during last night's game. This was on Monday. During last night's game, there was an on-court skit that missed the mark. This is from the Hornets. The skit included bad decision making and poor communication. Simply put, we turned the ball over and we apologize. We have reached out to the family and we are committed to not only making it right, but exceeding expectations. We will be providing the fan with the PS5 that he should have taken home last night, along with a VIP experience to a future game. Our goal is and will remain to elevate the guest experience for every person that enters Spectrum Center and show our fans how much we appreciate their relentless support. That's an official statement from the Charlotte Hornets, and it's like, buddy. I guess a little bit more clarification of what happened, right? So there was a skit that happened on during one of the timeouts, and it was a kid kind of sitting on the lap of Santa in a way, so kind of like asking him, "What do you want for Christmas?" And so they gifted him a PS5, and he was super excited and he was happy. And then all of a sudden, when they went back to the game, they snatched the P5 back from him and said, "Nah, bro, you get a jersey instead."
A signed jersey.
Which is something.
Don't want to sell it short.
Fair enough. A signed jersey he got. So, I mean, not good looks. I mean, the kid, it was a lot of online backlash. There was a ton of online backlash, and thankfully so, to help get this kid a PS5 for Christmas. Hopefully he get to keep the signed jersey too. Hopefully it wasn't a one or the other. And then plus a VIP experience down the road. I mean, not a bad little outcome for a nice little, mishap there.
Okay.
But what do you think about the whole situation?
Okay, a little more clarification. So it was a 13-year-old kid who's at the game with his uncle. A Hornets staffer approached them during the first quarter and asked if they'd like to participate in an on-court moment, but provided no additional details.
Okay.
Shortly before the boys stepped on the court, the staff member told Phillips that his nephew wouldn't get to keep his gift, but didn't explain what the gift was or inform the boy that it was only a skit. So they told Unc, but not the kid himself.
Okay.
Phillips said he was confused. Phillips is the uncle. And after his nephew left the court with the PS5, a staff member came over and confiscated the console. The boy was confused and disappointed, and cheerleaders, dancers, and other team staff members standing nearby were also shocked he could not keep the item, according to the uncle. So the first quarter, they were like, "Hey, how would y'all like to participate in an on-court skit?" Yes, bet. Then I guess a little bit later, they came back to get him. I'm like, "Hey, I guess they just took the kid onto the court and then told the uncle what was going to happen. Or like, hey,
Right.
I'm going to get the whatever is pulled out of the thing. It's just for PR. But they didn't tell the kid before he went out there and Hugo, the mascot, pulled the PS5 out of the Santa bag.
Yeah.
So to the 13-year-old kid, I'm at a game. You asked me if I want to participate in a on-court giveaway. Yeah. You take me out there. You give me a PS5. You let me walk back to my seat with the PS5.
You're happy. You're thinking about
I think I'm leaving with a PS5.
Yeah. I definitely saw the. It was another report. I think did it say because it was the skit included bad decision making and poor communication, and it was something else though I saw where they really kind of threw that employee under the bus because I saw a statement that said that a employee went rogue, and I saw that and I was just like, man, that's like, hey, let's just throw this guy under the bus as much as we can, and I mean, this story was getting picked up by like pretty big publications, and that's not the best when you got your team's not doing anything good on the court, so it's going to be easier to vilify you and your organization when this one blip on the road comes up. And now you look like the cheap organization that can't afford to give up $500, for a PS5 for a kid for Christmas and Christmas time, which is like
in a week.
Yeah, so
we're a week away from Christmas.
So it's like it's pretty funny, and it definitely, and like I can say this as someone I get texted by the Charlotte Hornets. No big deal, no big deal. A lot of people do, but they were offering tickets for this game as low as $10 upper bowl, right? But $35 and $45 for lower bowl seats. I almost went because $35 for lower bowl is a great deal. No matter what, they kept them things that so cheap at like $100 a lot of times, and it's like but I mean, it's just you're not selling a lot of tickets. Then you kind of do this to get bad press, and people are not they're gonna hear that first story. They're gonna hear that first headline. They're not gonna follow back up on if they took care of the kid or not. They're just gonna know that this new organization, this new ownership cheaped out and took away a PS5 from a kid a week before Christmas.
Yeah. My question is, whose idea was this skit in the first place? Like, why is that the skit? All right, let's give a kid a PS5 and then take it away from him. Right. Why? You already have the PS5.
Like, you can't keep this gift. But so is it a real PS5 or is it just a box, right? That's also a question.
The kid he would feel if it was empty, I feel like.
True. I mean, they probably could have
either way. I think, I guess.
But like when you said that they told the uncle or the whatever, the father, not the kid, I kind of felt like if you could have said in those words, hey, you can't keep the gift. So, but it's like you could also get a different reaction because obviously that cool reaction, him like super surprised and happy. He didn't know what the gift was, but then it's like if he knew that like I can't keep it, and you like handed me a PS5.
Yeah, that's probably why they didn't tell him. They wanted the reaction to be genuine. But it's kind of messed up telling his uncle, who is the one who took him to the game. Yeah, like he's not going to get to keep it. Like we just want his reaction so we can get a good
skit for like
good publicity. Like we want good reaction
for 100 people that probably showed up to that game.
They did tell him he would get a gift, but they said it wouldn't be the gift that was pulled out of the bag.
Right. At that point, you should have just gave him that gift. Like you don't need to play around. Like that is just
or just pulled the jersey out if you were giving
exactly.
Anyway,
give him a signed Lamelo jersey, bro. I'll be giddy. No Josh. Like I'd be super happy about it. And so it's just a bad look. It's just bad optics, man. And it's just like we don't need that for the Charlotte Hornets right now.
No.
All right, so
There's enough stank going on with them on the court and off, to be honest.
yes, I mean that's the thing. Like we've been rehabbing the image of the Charlotte Hornets or tried to at least rehab the image of the Charlotte Hornets for the past year or so. But it is what it is. So let's talk about Monday's game against the 76ers. The full squad was back in full force. What a day. Seeing Mark Williams in the starting lineup, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and I think Josh Green
Green.
started. Yeah, he started. But boy, what a stinker they put out. What a stinker. Um, Again, it's one of those things I feel like they're so used to playing without other players that are good. Like each individual star. Bridges, Miller, and Lamelo. Jesus. Lonzo. And so I just feel like it's one of those things to where they don't know each other. You know, it hasn't been like a time where all five have been together at the same time. And we saw flashes. Like I mean, we saw some great play, but from these guys. Between LaMelo and Mark Williams with a beautiful, absolute beautiful, behind the back pass. Like it was great. So it was cool. Like it was really cool to see at spurts. But the bad thing is, guess what happens? Brandon Miller goes down with the ankle. Right when we get everybody back, we can't even get one game.
Nope.
What is wrong with the Hornets? What is going on in Charlotte?
They were trying to rehab their image. Maybe they just need to rehab it.
Yeah,
They need to put the whole team in rice.
just reset. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I hate it. Like I kind of hate it here, to be quite honest with you. And I just seem to be a fan of absolute garbage because I mean, I just it kind of sucks. I mean, teams. I also follow Loki. Been following the Wizards, and that team is not good either. And I think the Wizards are kind of in a spot where the Hornets were maybe 2 years ago, where they still because you got your vets, you got your Gordon. They had the Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier still in the squad, and that's kind of what they got with Kyle. Even though Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole are still young players, but like they have to kind of cleanse their palate off those guys. Like they're not gonna be they're not gonna be helpful at all for this rebuild because they got players. And I got into a whole ass argument yesterday about Alex Sarr and his potential as being already he's at 22 games in. He's already going to be the biggest bust in NBA history, bigger than Anthony Bennett.
I just don't know that he is. Like he's averaging 11 and 6.
Yeah, I think his biggest argument is his efficiency as a big and his defensive awareness and him shooting too many threes and not being, I guess, more of a defensive big. But I think, and it's only been 20 games, and I don't think they figure out what they want to do with them quite yet. And it's early. I still think because I just think it's one of those things where you haven't found your identity as the Wizards team. You don't know who you can trust on that team. And it's only been 22 fucking games. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have cursed. Excuse me. I apologize. I got to get better. But it's only been 22 games. And so we'll talk because like the thing is like guys are not really in shape until Christmas, which is next week. So then it's like after that, then it's like really starting to get that tread and basketball don't really start until, this week. Like it don't really start until Christmas.
Until Christmas Day, yeah.
Yeah. And then once that's when you start seeing guys put it together, start putting 2025 is really when the year really starts. Between January to March, like that's when we're going to see good basketball. Players are in shape. They kind of get that rust on, figure out what they want to do, and you go from there. I mean, obviously there's going to be a little bit of shakeups coming to the NBA a little bit in a short amount of time. And we'll talk about some trades in a second. But yeah. So, but back to this Hornets 76ers game. I thought this was a good opportunity for the Hornets to finally have a really breakout performance. Very disappointed. Um, very disappointed, honestly. But like, I mean, is it surprising? No, but it's still very disappointing. What do you think?
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. Lamelo's not going to be at his best. He's been out for 3 weeks,
At least two.
2 to 3 weeks. He's probably going to be a little bit rusty. Mark Williams still getting back into basketball shape. Haven't been
I'm
out
pretty sure
for.
this is his first start back too. So he's finally got. I want to say this is his first start, but Nick Richards off the bench was putting up buckets,
He was 19-5 for Nick Richards off the bench.
which is like wow, pretty good. I didn't. I was kind of surprised because, but definitely put some money on the game and had B Mill for 14 points. Didn't even need a lot from him. Really unfortunate. But we did see a Lamelo with everyone back being more of a facilitator, being more of a pass first. A lot that pick and roll with Mark Williams works so well, right? So like you get the pick and roll game going with Mark Williams, then you got B Mill on the perimeter, you got Bridges on the perimeter, like you got shooters to space the floor, and you and Mark Williams can run the pick and roll. Like this team could be good. And Nick Richards, like it's not much of a drop off between Mark Williams and Nick Richards. And Nick Richards is in really good form right now. I'm a little disappointed in the what am I disappointed in? The rebounding of Mark Williams. I think he finished with 3 rebounds on the night. So I had him for 4. It's supposed to be super easy. Super easy bet. Just to double my money. But, I mean, the 76ers were absolutely cooking us. Like, you would think, Embiid out, McLean out. But then it's like Maxi and PG. Holy crap.
And Tsunami Poppy.
They absolutely just was dogging us. And Maxi had over 40 points, and PG had over 30.
Maxi had 40 on 6 of 12 shooting from 3. Paul George had 33, 6 of 9 from 3. And then Kelly Oubre revenge game, 19 points on 7 of 11 from the field shooting. So
they definitely shot the lights out. I mean, I think last time we played the 76ers, it was a really close game. So, and it was in Philadelphia. So you would think, they was going to play them tough again, but I will give this team a little bit of grace just so they can figure out like how to play with everyone back. But like now B Mills out, who's been so spectacular for us. It's just like it hurts, man. It hurts my soul seeing this because he's been good. Like LaMelo's been really good. B Mills been really good. And I mean, looking at the shooting, blah, 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 was LaMelo was more efficient with the basketball. Like he shot 5. I mean, not the greatest, but 5 for 15, 3 of 8. So not the 21 threes we would see in the game he would chuck up. So it's like, it was kind of more spread out. But obviously when you got more shooters, we're seeing Josh Green attempt more threes. Miles Bridges shot 8, B Mill shot 7. Cody Martin off the bench with 5. Like it's being more spread out to where it's not. I feel like LaMelo doesn't feel like he has to do everything. Well, LaMelo only played 26 minutes, so probably on a bit of a minutes restriction, coming back, easing himself back off of injury. But I don't know. 15 and 11 and 5 rebounds, pretty solid day for LaMelo. Some bench monsters we have to mention. Cody Martin had 10 points and 2 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Nick Richards, 19 and 5, a block and a steal. We needed that assist to fill up that stat sheet all the way. And also shout out to Isaiah Wong, man. Played 14 minutes, was 3 or 4 from the field. shot, made 7 points, 2 rebounds. I do want to mention this interview he had with uh, the media not too long ago, a couple days ago, and he had to say, here it is. Isaiah says, coming into the game, I'm not the main scorer. I got to find another way to be effective. Playing defense is the most effective way for me to be on the team. That's how I'm getting most of my playing time. Just by playing defense, the offense will come. Whoa. Strong statement right there from Isaiah Wong. I already like this kid because we know he's a bucket. He's averaging points when he gets the time. With KJ Simpson and Nick Smith Jr. getting pushed back down to the Swarm, and Isaiah staying up, it kind of means like they see something in him, and the fact that he already has the mindset of, hey, the best way for me to get on the court is to play defense and show that I'm gonna be a willing defender. He's gonna find himself getting more and more minutes, and especially more minutes now with if Brandon is going to be out for an extended amount of time.
Yeah. Also, we might see more Tijan Salon. He only played
18 minutes.
18 minutes on Monday night. So he also didn't have a very good game. 0 for 2. Only took 2 threes, missed them both. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 foul.
And missed both his free throws. So not good shooting night at all for him.
Yeah.
But we are still seeing Diabate stay up with the team and getting minutes. I mean, he had 16 minutes, made both of his field goals, 3 rebounds. So he's making the most of his minutes, which I wonder – I didn't really watch this game, but I wonder if he's playing more 4, to rotate in with Miles Bridges, and it's just kind of letting him get the opportunity to play the 4. Maybe in like a smaller lineup when they maybe go like Lamelo, Josh Green, Bridges, Diabate, and Cody Martin maybe. Because we seen last week Cody Martin played the 4 when everyone was down.
I mean, yeah, the 3 of them all played. I mean, Nick Richards played 15, Diabate played 16, Mark Williams played 17. So they're all playing about the same amount of minutes.
Split the minutes up, which, I mean, that's good to keep everyone involved and in shape, which kind of tells me either they want to make sure that Diabate is still good or there's something on the horizon coming.
Maybe a trade?
Possibly a trade. Which brings me to some trades I see on Twitter. And so this is a trade I saw that I felt like somebody was possibly on a particular drug that was pretty popular in the 80s. So they have the Hornets getting Michael Porter Jr., and then we're trading away Miles Bridges. I have no idea who Zeke is. I think he's oh wait, no, he's on the Nuggets. He's on the Nuggets. Okay. And then Daquan Jeffries, which I really like Daquan Jeffries. I like the way he was balling the last couple games. The Nuggets set first round pick. We give up 2 seconds. Actually, I don't hate the 2 seconds, giving up 2 seconds. And then
3.
the Nuggets get
3 seconds. It's 1 this year, 1 next year, and then 1 in 2027.
That's a lot, actually. That's a lot. And then Zach LaVine goes to the Nuggets, which I think Michael Porter Jr.'s salary pretty much kind of pairs up with that salary dump. I think because I'm pretty sure, $43 million. So that's you got to clear that space for him. What do you feel about bringing in Michael Porter Jr., getting rid of Bridges for Michael Porter Jr.?
I love getting rid of Miles Bridges. I don't want Miles Bridges to be a Hornet.
Okay.
However,
do you like this trade?
No, I do not like this trade. But if it got Miles Bridges off the team, I would take it.
I just don't feel like Michael Porter Jr. Like, I feel like if we take Michael Porter Jr., it's going to be a opt out. Like I don't see him wanting to play here. No disrespect, but like
How much longer is his contract?
he has 3 years left.
Any opt outs?
Not sure.
I'm about to look it up right now. Let's see.
But I mean, I'm not a fan of that trade. But like I mean, I think everyone feels like Michael Porter Jr. will be that missing piece for this team, and I'm like, brother, like we have a lot of missing pieces on this team. I don't know what this other puzzle that we see. Everyone's like super confident, but like man, Twitter, you will really see like people with not a lot of high ball knowledge. But like I get it. It's the fandom of like thinking like, oh yeah, we're really close. Like we're really close. Like we're right there.
We're really not though.
We're not close. Like we haven't seen players stay healthy, and that's the issue. It was another trade that I saw recently. It might have been on Facebook.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. got 3 years left and let's see, 36, 38, 114 million left.
I mean, we got cap space, but that's a lot.
Yeah. It's 36 million this year, 38 next year, and 41 in 2026. So a lot.
Which I get it. It's like it's one of those taxes, but like I see. Okay, so if we're gonna be dealing with the Bulls, you gotta throw us back, Lonzo. We played the Bulls. Lonzo looked pretty solid. They were Lob City against us. Yeah, they were Lob City against us against Chicago, man. It was kind of nasty. But like I don't know. Like I don't want to take on that. Because then Michael Porter Jr. for me, I guess he would fill Miles Bridges' role, and because if you feel like T-John is not ready, that makes sense. You just start him at the 4. I would want to start him at where he wants to play more freely. I know he likes to play the dunker role a little bit more, but I feel like we're just going to slot him in the same exact thing that he was doing with the Nuggets. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he wants to go somewhere he can be the number one option.
Mm-hmm.
But to do that, he needs to go to a team like the Wizards, who are young,
yeah,
but they need like one guy who can just put up stats and put butts in seats. Like that's what Jordan Poole is supposed to be right now. That's what Kyle Kuzma is supposed to be right now. While the young guys are developing and coming along, they're just supposed to put up stats. Who cares if we win? Just make it exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if he stay getting paid, he's got his ring. So if he doesn't care about continuously winning, he might do that. My biggest thing about doing that is blocking the pathway of your young guys, and I just need my young guys to play, and like I just need them to play ball and to play games and get those minutes in. And I don't want to see him blocking, Sar or Cali or Balawi.
Bilal Coulibaly.
Yeah. I just don't want to see him blocking minutes in that pathway for him to develop. Like obviously having that solid vet who can mentor you, like obviously like that Chris Paul role is great to be able to just really, push them there. But I don't think they're at that stage. I feel like they're 2 years away from that stage because like they still have a bunch of teenagers in there. Like, what I mean? Like none of them are able to drink in America, So it's like, I will, that's like a 1 to 2 years down the road. The Hornets, I feel like could be like Michael Porter Jr. could make sense as a solid veteran who's been there, who's actually contributed. Like I can see him making an impact on this team, but I just don't see him wanting to be here too. I mean, he plays defense, which is like, I don't know. He actually could fit pretty kind of nice, actually. He could kind of fit pretty solidly. Maybe I'm talking myself into it.
I think he could work. He's going to play the exact same position as Miles Bridges. Sometimes he'll be the 3, sometimes he'll be the 4. Provide spacing. He can be a lob threat like Miles is. But for a team who's already suffered from a ton of injuries, to bring on somebody with Michael Porter Jr.'s injury history,
it's our type, apparently.
What is the point? Like, I get if you're a team who wants to trade for Michael Porter Jr., you're either a contender who just thinks they need like one more piece, or you're a team like I said, like the Wizards or maybe the Trailblazers, who just want somebody who can put up numbers. Like, we don't care about winning. We have some young guys we want to develop. They need to grow into their roles. But for right now, we just need somebody who can take 25, 30 shots a game and put up 30 points a game. And that's what Michael Porter Jr. is.
Yeah, that's fair. So a fun stat before I talk about another trade is against the Bulls. The Hornets and the Bulls combined for 75 missed three-pointers, the most ever in regulation NBA history. A fun stat.
That's nasty.
Absolutely disgusting. The Hornets are open to trading Michik for a second-round draft capital, which would be cool. I think he's definitely improved his stock with his run of games lately. So now kind of just hide him and just, hey, he's so trapped behind. And I feel like the thing is too is like I think you're kind of hard pass unless you see Isaiah Wong develop really well to where you can, all right, we can let him run the backup point until Trey Mann gets back with the disc, irritation that he's having. But like I know they're going to be really careful with trying to bring him back. So like I don't even think we're probably going to see Trey Mann back until probably next year. I wouldn't bring him back until at least next year. It makes he's fully good. So, but even still, like I still like some of the young guards to get more playing time. Like I would love to see Isaiah Wong get more time. I mean, I love what I saw from Daquan Jeffries and also from KJ Simpson. KJ Simpson looked really good in his minutes. So I think we could afford to get rid of him, but again, that's like how like losing that veteran presence on the team, because you don't want to mess up your mix too much. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think the Hornets need to get a legit big.
Legit big? What do you mean by that?
A legit big. Like they need to get. So the three pillars are supposed to be Lamelo, Brandon Miller, and Mark Williams, right?
Yeah.
They need an upgrade over Mark Williams. I don't think Mark Williams is a franchise cornerstone. At least at this point in time. Like if he comes back healthy, he could get back to being that. But as of right now, I don't know if you can count on him being that.
Which is fair.
So I think if you go and you do get a legit big, or you get another legit wing to go on with Brandon Miller, whether it's a 3-4 or a 2-3, I don't care. Just somebody who can play the wing. Because Brandon Miller can move around. T. Johnson can move around. He can play 3. He can play 4. They just need another guy who can get a bucket, but who.
I don't even think you needed a guy. I think
they need somebody efficient. They need like a hyper efficient player.
I think Mark Williams can be that because like I don't necessarily think you need a legit big. Like I think for sure another wing who can get his own shot, but mostly can guard, and that's okay of being like the third or fourth option. Which would be, I think that would be really good. Like, but like Mark Williams serves like a rim protector who's solid in the pick and roll. Obviously, I would want someone who has a little bit better finish around the bucket, Derek Queen. And I would just love to see that. But I still think like, you know what I mean? Like the presence of having like, cause we still haven't seen it fully for a stretch of games. It's just like knowing that like you can go inside out. You got like a 3-headed monster where you got the rolling big who is athletic enough to get to their whole alley-oop. Then you still got B Mill on the outside. Then you possibly got that dunker, power forward that can slash, you know what I mean, or have a backdoor cut. You get so many options open. So it's really that 3-4 position for me. Like Miles Bridges is like technically it right now for us, but I don't like his defense. And he also can be a little bit ball dominant as well. I agree. Glad you agree with me. And so it's like I just don't think Miles Bridges exactly fit. And they already tried to commit to him. And I was like, bro, I think we shouldn't. Like, I think let Miles Bridges go to LA, let him go wherever um, to play. Because I just think we need more of a defender. We need another defender in the first unit that I think is going to have a better, like, because Josh Green is okay. Like, Josh Green he's finding his shot. But I need, like, Josh Green just focusing on defending mostly first is good. So like if we had like, because I mean Josh Green's been playing the three, so it's like I would like to have our 3 and 4 be defenders, but like with like I want an athletic 4 who's primarily a defender, right? So like someone who just can make back. I mean maybe I'm just talking myself into Michael Porter Jr. Maybe the internet got something. Maybe they got something. Maybe I'm talking myself more into Michael Porter Jr. the more I talk about it, because like he would be that fit of like just defend. But I mean, so streaky as a 3-point shooter. But you know, as long as he still has a value of those backdoor cuts and a finish around the rim. Like that's all we really need. Because I think you build around, you let Lamelo, because you don't want to put too many. You want to have too many mouths to feed on that first unit, because you still want Lamelo to get his. You want Brandon Miller to get his, and Mark is going to get his. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, Diabate, I like his athleticism and his motor, but he just doesn't have the touch and feel right now around the rim, which I think is one of the big things that's holding him back.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely prefer Michael Porter Jr. to Miles Bridges.
Yeah. So maybe we like the trade. Maybe we like this trade.
I just feel like that's a lot, though. Like 3 years, 114 million.
It is a lot. His contract is a lot. Maybe we'll think of some trades.
But that's why I feel like the Hornets shouldn't have re-signed Miles Bridges. Like,
I just don't know what their infatuation with him is.
I think he's friends with Lamelo. Like, that's Lamelo's guy. So they were just trying to bring back Lamelo's friend.
But like he's cool with everybody though. Like LaMelo's cool with everybody. They
cool with everybody but the Mecklenburg Police Department and his girl.
He must be really good with Mecklenburg Police Department. Oh, you're talking about Bridges? Yeah, Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's speak about this chart. I've been digging into some advanced stats and some shooting stats. Tell me what you noticed on this list. This is total points in the regular season, and this is their total efficiency. Worst efficient shooters in the league.
So this is sorted by true shooting percentage?
Yeah. See 2 people on this list that we know.
I do.
Which I ain't gonna lie, I thought Lamelo would be a little bit, up here. But hey, he has the ball in his hands a lot. Same with Cade and Jalen Green. Which Jalen Green's mid. I saw some advanced stats on his shooting chart and saw that his mid game is pretty rough right now. His percentage while shooting the mid range shot.
I mean, for Lamelo, it makes sense. Like he's been shooting like 13 threes a game.
Yeah.
And he's only shooting like 38%, 36%, somewhere around there. Oh. So like his true shooting percentage makes sense. Brandon Miller also has been taking a ton of threes. So
a ton.
Those 2 make sense to be down here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trae Young.
He stinks. I'm the biggest Trae Young hater. But Trae Young in the Garden, that brother different. And he hit the roll the dice on the boys in New York. They're gonna have to trade for him. They need that energy. But yeah, shout out to Shot Creator, a really new website that has advanced shooting stats on players. Just discovered it today, so you guys should check it out if you guys want to look at some more stats. They have ability you can cut up film and plays as well from different guys, and it's actually a pretty solid website. I haven't really dig too deep into it yet, but all in all, it looks really cool. Um, all right, well, let's wrap this show up with once we're around the Queen City, let's go around the NBA. And with the NBA Cup that just happened, what the hell? We want to. What is going on? Hold on. No, that's not what I want. We'll figure this out. No, this is what I want. There we go. What is this? What is this video? Dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
We've all been there.
But congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks of winning the NBA Cup 2024. It's Dame time. Dame finally get his first championship. The question is, let me ask you this question: if Damian Lillard is will only win this title, would you consider his career a success?
I mean, individual career, yes. Team success, no. Like if that's all he ever wins is just an NBA Cup for his entire career, I don't think that's a successful team career. Now, it depends on what he cares about. Like, obviously, he's been one of the better scorers of the last decade. Like, his individual stats are incredible, and he's had a very good career as an individual competitor.
Ooh.
But it just depends on how you want to measure it. Like, team-wise, no, not at all.
Do you think that the NBA Cup will ever have prestige?
I think it will. Like, I think people care about it more this year. And I think it's probably for the reason we talked about earlier in the show. Like, usually the NBA season doesn't really start until Christmas Day. So putting the NBA Cup at the end of November into December is making those games matter more. So we should theoretically see less people sitting for injury management, load management, tanking purposes, whatever you want to call it. And also, like, players are probably going to go a little bit harder because every player gets 500,000, I believe.
Yeah, but then even getting up to that, like each game you win, you get like 100,000. Like kind of like I think it progresses more and more. So,
So you have reason to want to succeed, even like the end, especially the end of the bench players.
that's true. Yeah, it's definitely for them. Definitely for them.
So you might see bench players showing out a little bit more earlier in the season when they have a reason to for the NBA Cup because they got money on the line. After the NBA Cup ends, they can go back and just sit on the bench. But before that, they're trying to get that bread.
This is true. Yeah, I mean NBA Cup is cool. Like I think, it gives like a new like fresh look to what, like every team gets a little new court and it kind of, it shakes it up a little bit, because I mean, like everyone's like complaining about it, but like I feel like, I guess they're down, but like I just don't think that it's down like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I never really thought that the NBA before Christmas was a big ratings mover. And with college football at the peak it's ever been, with a 12-team playoff that's starting, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insanely good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna say I was confused by it, but I just didn't, I just kind of expected like, hey, the ratings are what they were. Like, I didn't think, they were going to be anything crazy, like up, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I just don't know what you can do. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Cause like, and we're seeing an increase in injuries. So it's like, I know the NBA is one of the best leagues that for the most part listens to their players, but like, a lot of players are complaining. It's like, hey, like we go from like not doing much in training camp to going full on sprint playing these games. So it's like these players don't have a legitimate ramp up here, and you can't be mad at these players for load management or injury management or whatever. Where it's like, bro, like they got to get their sea legs under them. Like it's you going from like nothing to like a full month. You guarding Steph Curry running around. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a lot going from cold to hot really fast. A lot of times you see a combustible thing and everything something will bust. A lot of times, now we're seeing a lot of these injuries that are happening right now, unfortunately, and then that dampens your product even more when you can't watch a LeBron every night because he's hurt. You can't watch Lamelo every night because he's hurt. A B mill, you know what I'm saying? So then that it dampens the product.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with you on that.
Speaking of making sense, how do you feel about the new NBA All-Star format? So there's going to be a mini tournament with 4 teams and 3 games. So there'll be 24 NBA All-Star selections divided evenly into 3 8-player teams. The fourth team is the Casserole Rising Stars champion. Honorary team, general managers, TNT analyst Charles Barkley, Chuck, Shaq, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Candace Parker. Barkley, O'Neal, and Smith draft their team rosters, a pool of 24 players. Parker is the GM of the Casserole Rising Stars champions. 2 teams meet in one semifinal game 1, and remaining 2 teams meet in the other semifinal. And then the winner gets to game 1. Winner teams from game 1 and 2 advance to face each other in the championship game, and the winner takes home. How much does that say? Okay, winner of each game is the first team to reach 40, and I believe the winning team gets 175,000 or something like that if they win.
Let me see.
Should I be on there? Okay, so 4 teams participating in the NBA All-Star Game will compete for a prize pool of $1.8 million, which each player on the championship winning team receives $125. Each player on the second team receiving $50,000, and each player on the third and fourth place team receive $25,000. So regardless, you coming out with 25 stacks.
Pretty
But
good.
if you do win, 125,000 per player. So pretty solid incentive. Especially I think I don't think the All-Star game was in Vegas, but if the All-Star game was in Vegas, you can go ahead and flip that thing, bet it on black real quick, and go ahead and get you a nice little $500,000 payday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's in San Francisco in Golden State Warriors Chase Center.
Okay. I don't know if there's any tables out there, but I mean, 125,000, you probably ain't gonna be able to pay for parking and shit like that. Expensive out there.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about this format of an All-Star Game tournament instead of a
I don't know if I love it, but I feel like they had to do something. So I'm not mad at them trying something. I feel like the format wasn't really working.
Yeah.
As it
I
was.
mean, I still think I think they could do better things to make the weekend exciting. But like first to 40, like I feel like some of these games might be like 5 minutes long. Because like the way they was putting the points in a hurry against,
It'll probably be like, it might be like a 10-minute game, but I think they'll probably be around 15 minutes. Like a long game probably go like 20, a short game probably go like 10, but I think like an average of 15.
So, but the thing is, like, even still, like, yeah, you're changing the format, but are players still going to play hard? Yeah, you're getting some decent money, but like, are players still going to play hard?
That remains to be seen. Like that's what they had to do something to change it because players weren't playing hard.
Yeah.
So
Which is like, but players, I don't even think players want to. Like, I mean, like if they're like All-Star break is a break. Like if you're in the All-Star game, it's like it's no incentive to be a part of the All-Star break if you still got to play. You know what I'm saying? Like some people be off to Cancun because they're dog shit awful, and they get that full week off and be able to chill out. Um, but I still think like at least for like the dunk contest, like bringing on like finding people off the street and giving an opportunity to win money, change their life. Like you want to see people who are hungry. Like I mean, I wouldn't even mind seeing like a one-on-one games with like guys with the opportunity to play. You know what I mean? Like to get opportunity to like best to 7 or something like that. Not even crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like one-on-one games, that'd be fun. Or like, one possession for each. Like something fun that just like it's a different thing. People are gonna be excited to see it. I'm cool with that. Like a 3-on-3 tournament would be a lot more fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially if I don't know what I think NBA don't mess with the big 3 like that, but like like you got because obviously now with women starting a big 3 tournament or a league as well, like you could have like a really cool little fun cross promotional thing between the big 3, the NBA, and whatever I forget what the female league is called, but that'd be like a really fun thing. The way one you could continue to get exposure for the WNBA and those WNBA players and the big 3 and NBA, like what I mean, all benefit. But I guess big 3 is considered competition to the NBA, which is not. They play in a completely different time of the year. They play in the summer, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they need to do. The NBA needs to figure out what they want. Do they want a good basketball game, or do they want a fun basketball game? Because if you just want a fun basketball game, there's stuff you can do.
For sure.
You can make 3-pointers worth more for like a certain portion of the game. Like first 2 minutes of a quarter, last 2 minutes of a quarter, 3-pointers are worth 4 instead of 3. You can make dunks worth more for a certain portion of the game. You can combine the celebrity all-star game with the regular all-star game if you just want to make it fun and get people watching. Like there's options they can go to, but they need to figure out whether they just want as many people watching and make it as fun as possible, or whether they want to try to make it a legit good basketball game again.
I don't honestly I don't think you needed it to be a legit good basketball game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so either.
Like I just think it needs to be fun and entertaining. But like you can kind of get a little bit of both. I think by doing the big 3 versus like teams like you can literally do. Oh my gosh, NBA! I'm gonna clip this shit for you guys because I'm about to go ahead and set up something. Trademark Hate to Pylon, give us a bag, and this is gonna make so much money. It's gonna be great content for Amazon Prime. You can stream it on Amazon Prime, TNT, Max, all of it. Right? You start a reality series, Road to the All-Star Weekend, where you scour the globe and find, whatever, the best 3-on-3 basketball players. There's so much talent on these on these courts. So you go to like Rutgers Park, you go to like New York, like you go to Cali, like you go to Florida, like all over, have these tournaments, and you scout some 3-on-3 teams to where they get like the Final Four or whatever, gets an opportunity to go to like, wherever the next All-Star weekend is, an opportunity to play some of the NBA talent, or like the big 3 or the women's league, and marry that into like a really cool festival of 3-on-3 basketball and let them have at it. Half court, 10-minute halves, what I'm saying? Or best to like 50, 2s and 3s, and then the 4-point shot. Like make it shit fun. Because then you're gonna see, and winner gets $1 million. They split $1 million 3 ways. And or whatever, how many people you have on your team, maybe have like an alternate or whatever. But like do that. You could make a documentary, a reality show documenting all of this happening. And it'll be really fun because you can watch it. You can get behind it. It'll be promoting the NBA on Amazon Prime, your new partner. You can put it on TNT. You can put it on ESPN. It helps everyone all involved. People start getting into it. Market the hell out of it. Every game commercial, because then you started in the summertime, right? And then you kind of work its way throughout the NBA season. Because you want to be able to keep pushing it to where people know about it's happening, and then make it a big thing at the All-Star game.
Yeah. And like I said, there's so many options they can go to.
I agree.
And I don't think this was the best one. But they are trying something, which I appreciate. I just don't it's not my favorite. But it's something, so I guess we'll take it. We'll see how it is. Like, this is the first year they're doing it. I don't hate it. I wish they would just go back to East versus West and then just combine all the events into one like tournament. Make the dunk contest a tournament. So you get 6 competitors, 3 from the Eastern Conference, 3 from the Western Conference. First place gets 50 points, second place gets 40 points, third place gets 30 points, so on and so forth. Same thing with the 3-point competition. Get like 6 people, make it a point system. And then by the time it gets to the game,
that's the score it starts off with.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, that'd be cool.
So it didn't have to be a 50-point scale, but just something. So everything matters. You can tie it all in together.
Now that's fire, because then you could you'll start it might be a little jarring at first, but be like, oh, the West swept all of the events, and they have a 20-point advantage starting the game, so they get to start the game 20-0.
Mm-hmm.
Clock just started. So now the East, but then it's like even still, then it's like you have to make a big meaning. Like, I think you guys have to give away more money, or make like similar to MLB, to where because it's hard to get the home court advantage, especially the best team. But no matter what, you could do that to where it's hey, if the West win, they get home court advantage in NBA Finals. But then if you're a good player on a shitty team, I don't give a fuck. So it's still one of those things that's I don't know. You got to incentivize it for sure too.
Yeah, I feel like one thing they could do to incentivize it, instead of doing home court advantage, they could switch up the way they schedule the NBA Finals. So first game, you could still go to, instead of doing 2 games and switching, just do 1 game. So you get the first game at home. If you win that one, you get to play the second game at home. If your team won the All-Star game. If you lose, it goes to the other team, and then if the other team wins, they get to have game 3 at home. So it just it should matter, but I don't think you should get 2 games back to back automatically, because that is a huge swing.
It is a huge swing, but then it's also
I think you should get game 1, and then the opportunity, if you win game 1, to have game 2 at home as well.
True. I see what you're saying. I mean, it's definitely a logistics thing, and then plus also as long as you don't lose that 4 games that you could possibly, or I guess, yeah, I guess it's just is it just that 1 game you can play for? So then you just have to swap out at the back end.
Yeah, so definitely if you win game 1, you get game 2 at home. If you lose game 1 at home, you go on the road game 2. Then I guess at that point, it's just you do the 2-2 from there. So you go back home, but you have 2 games back. You're down 0-2, but you have 2 games at home now. So theoretically, you can win those 2 games at home, tie the series going into game 5 at 2-2. But the next 2 games would be at home, and game 7, if there is a game 7, would still be at home, which is a big advantage.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might be something the NBA needs to look into to make the NBA All-Star game count. Because right now, it doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, yeah. But what does matter is us and our time. This is because our time is up. But we're gonna enjoy our Christmas break. We'll be we'll be back next year. This has been fun couple of weeks of buzzing around the pylon. We'll give the Hornets some time to see what they do. I just saw that Brandon Miller is questionable for next game, which is kind of positive news. So that means it's maybe not too crazy, not too serious. Hopefully he will continue to play. Will there be any trades by the time we come back on this show? We'll see. Final words, Jonathan.
Hornets need to make a move. I would love to see Lonzo back. I would love to see another forward added. I would love to see another center added, maybe. I just think this team needs to make a move because what they got ain't working right now.
It's not. I think we're at the point. I mean, we're 22 games in, roughly 22, 23 games in. Obviously, like you're going to start to see who you can move forward with in this rebuild, and now it's trying to be like Adam Peters and finesse a team into overpaying for a player such as like a Jahan Dotson paying a third for, a Sam Howell paying a third round pick for. In that vein, like being able to like, especially when a team is hungry for something.
Yeah, we're hungry for success in Charlotte, and it ain't starving for it. NBA, NFL don't matter. We just need something.
Hey man, there's always soccer team. Charlotte's a soccer city.
This is true.
But all right, guys, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight on Buzzing Around the Pylon. We hope you guys have a very happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate it. But either so, we will see you guys next year in 2025.
See ya.
Y'all ready? Is the pylon on the camera?
Yeah,
It's in my camera too, man.
Y'all ready?
Is it?